Hello and welcome to another replica reviews video. Now first off, apologies for me sounding like death. Unfortunately we're fighting hay fever at the moment. It's not much fun, but we've actually got an English summer, so I won't complain too much. Now here in front of you we have the Umarex C96. Now this is part of the Legends series that Umarex have done. They've basically recreated a lot of what I call your legendary guns, funny enough as the name suggests. This includes the P08, I'm pretty certain they've done a Makarov as well, and the one that you've got in front of you, which is the C96. Now this is a pretty close replica of the Mauser C96, which was first introduced into service in 1899 and was used all the way through to 1961 and pretty much fought in every single war in between there. It's kind of like the AK-47 of its time. If there's a conflict, this probably isn't too far away from it. Anything from the Second World War, the Korean War, First World War, Second World War, and so on and so on and so on. And I'm sure these things are still floating around even to this day. Now anyway, less about the real steel version. This isn't a review on one of those by any means. So we'll move on to the actual pistol we got in front of you. Now this is the a really good replica. The box is pretty standard from Umarex. It just comes with all of the key features on the front. It's kind of got that rustic feel to it. You've got a silhouette of somebody using the gun. Again, the Umarex sticker on the front, being UK, they're the sole distributors, so they get to put the sticker right on the front where everybody can see it. And then obviously just a couple of the key features. It's a 12 gram CO2, 4.5mm BB pistol, and unusually for a lot of the sort of what I call the cheaper end Umarex pistols, it's also blowback. So we'll open up the box and just show you what it comes with. Now, as I'm sure you can guess, it gives you a really interesting bit of information on the pistol inside. You get this little poster here. You can just see the outline of the Uzi on the front there. Basically just shows you all of the products. You can see all of the pistols. Get a handy little user manual, as I'm sure you'd expect from any Umarex product. It basically gives you just the lowdown in many different languages, from Russian, German, French, the lot. And a bit of Spanish in there as well. Just shows you general kind of safety, how to load the gun, just all your standard things. And then obviously if you're in the UK, you'll get one of these, just a little Umarex warranty card. If you're outside the UK and you don't get one of those, don't feel too concerned, because Umarex only supply the UK as far as I know. And then obviously all that's left really, it's just a little bit of bubble wrap and the gun itself. So what we're going to do is just move the boxes out of the way. Oh, this is the bubble wrap falls down. Move the boxes out of the way, refocus in, and just give you a nice little walk around the pistol. So here we have the pistol in front of you. Now as you can see, it's a pretty true accurate replica to the real Mauser C96. It does come with this really little handy loop down here, but we'll go on to the features in a minute. Now the first thing that a lot of you often ask me is, what is it made out of? And I have to say that pretty much all of the outside of this gun, apart from a few things, is made out of plastic. Now don't let that put you off too much. The plastic is really nice, high quality plastic. As you can see, it kind of gives it that matte finish to it, which is quite nice. But anyway, we'll talk you around. We have the full-size 18-round dropout magazine, which we'll get out and go through for you in a second. The markings on the side here, what would be a selector switch, unfortunately aren't functional. The trigger is weirdly, it's plastic. It's hard to tell. It was only till one of our viewers pointed out over on our Facebook page that the trigger was plastic that we actually knew. To me, it just felt like a normal coated metal. The barrel and all of the assembly at the front is plastic, and then if I just quickly flip the gun over, you can also see that this side everything's plastic and everything's moulded in, apart from the magazine release catch here, which obviously is fully functional. Now what you will notice is there's not too many markings on this pistol. Just got the usual ones at the top here that basically just tell you it's a 4.5 caliber or brackets 177 gun. A little tiny F at the top there for the German market. But apart from that, nothing, which I thought was quite nice, because usually you'll find in a lot of replicas you'll get these really awful, this is a toy, warning, it will kill you, etc, etc, etc warnings, and they sometimes just ruin the finish. This gun thankfully doesn't have those. I'm not sure if it's a legal requirement or whether it's just something they do just to cover their own backs, but anyway, this one doesn't feature it. Now one thing I will add before anybody else asks me, again we've had a few questions over on Facebook. Unfortunately, you cannot get the extended Mauser stock. He says hitting the camera again. Unfortunately, that's something that Umarex aren't selling at the moment. But anyway, we'll move on to the features. Now, the selector switch here is unfortunately non-functional. It's just purely a moulded in plastic piece. The only things really that are metal are the basically just the charging handle here. That's pretty much it. And the hammer as well. The selector safety, unfortunately, is plastic as well. Now, it's a really simple one to use. It's up for safe, push it down like so, and it's in the fire position, and you can discharge the weapon like so. It's really simple and really nice and light to swap between the two. Now, there's two ways you can cock this weapon. It's a single action only pistol. You can either bring the hammer back like so and fire, or you can use the charging handle itself and bring it back like so. Now, because this is a blowback pistol, the charging handle is fully functional. Now, it's a really weird way of doing it. Most pistols will just use the slide, and then you rack the whole slide. This one only uses a very small little lever. Now, hopefully this will come out on the camera, but you can see as I cock the weapon back, it does open up the chamber. You can just see in front of my thumb, and obviously this is what cycles every time the blowback is initiated. It's a really nice feature and I quite like it. Also featured on this pistol are the fully adjustable sights. It has got markings out to 1,000 yards. If you're shooting out to 1,000 yards with an air pistol, good luck to you. It's not going to happen. But anyway, you can adjust it. It's a nice feature. And I'm sure if the CO2 gets low and you want to go all artillery, you can really rack the sights up, and that can adjust it. Apart from that, it just sits flush. Now, I personally don't feel that there is much need to play with the sights. I think they're perfectly fully functional as it is. Now, apart from that, really, apart from the dropout magazine, there aren't really many other features. Now, the dropout magazine, as you can see, is one of the, it's almost like an extended version of the ones that they put in the pistols. The bottom piece here, you need to take off to fill it with CO2. That's done really simply, just by pressing on this little button here, he says, and just taking the bottom off. And now you can see that you've got the tab, and then you can place your BBs just in there, and that's got a really nice little groove cut into the side here. Hopefully it's coming out. It just holds the spring down, you put your BBs in through this hole, and then when you're done, just release it forward like so. Take your cover, place it on, and then just put that straight back into the pistol, and then you're ready to go, obviously charging it. Now, there's not really much else to say about this gun, unfortunately. It is very basic in its construction. The grips are plastic again. They're wood effect, but they're really good. The charging handle here is metal, which is quite a nice feature. And as I said earlier, it just cycles the action back for you there. Now, pretty much concludes our video, really. There isn't really much to show on this. Now, it is one of the Legend series. Obviously, it does hold a little bit of a premium there. This one retails around the £100 mark. This one here is 110. That's British pounds. Now, to me, is it worth it? I'm not entirely sure. I do prefer my all-metal pistols. They've just got that feel to it. But that said, it's still an incredibly nice replica to shoot. It's an incredibly nice replica to hold in your hand. The grip, for me, I've kind of got medium-sized hands, if you can scale hands. And to me, it just feels a little bit cramped. I'm used to my big mid-frame semi-auto pistols or rifles, where I've got all the room in the world to play with. Unfortunately, this one here just felt a little bit cramped. But that's probably just me not being used to this style of pistol. Now, obviously, the broom handle is going to be a bit of a Marmite thing. People are either going to love it, they're either going to hate it. It's definitely not going to win points on looks, that's for sure. There are far better guns out there for the looks competition, but if you're into your historic guns, you know, whether you collect World War II pistols and rifles, World War I pistols, etc., it's a really nice gun to have, and I think it's really authentic as well. So as a collector's point of view, definitely go and get one. As I said, it's not too expensive, and for what you do pay, you get a really top quality Umarex gun, and you know, the quality control is much like what you'd expect a German gun manufacturer to be. It's absolutely outstanding. Now, this pretty much concludes the video. Overall, I've been really impressed with it. I do like it. It's just not really my cup of tea. But, you know, each to their own. What I don't like, you might like, and what I might like, you might absolutely loathe. If you want to check out more pictures of this pistol, we've got a load more information put on our Facebook page. I'll put a link in the description there. Any questions, any comments, feel free to post them below. We always try to answer them as quickly as we can. So until our next video, thanks for watching.